Dear future, I'm not sure what to expect. To be honest, I'm kind of a little scared. This place has helped me understand that sometimes what I thought I knew was really only what I was taught to think. It's allowed me to embrace differences and let there be more joy in a medley of answers. Obviously we have something, I think, over 100 nationalities at Jacobs, and I think that that's very clear, and you see it in day-to-day life here, and in the way people approach problems and solve different kinds of conflicts. What examples can we think of?
You get to know about them and see the differences between where you come from and where they come from. It's just opened me up a lot more.
I think part of the key to solving many of the global problems that we do face is having this plurality in ways of thinking, having these different views and being able to express them in an open way. And I think that that's something that we achieve here at Jacobs. I study international politics and history with the hope that one day I'll be able to take that knowledge back to Zimbabwe and help to rebuild a lot of what was lost in under the last dictatorship.
Dear future, I always knew we would eventually meet. I'm sure so much has changed in your life and in the world around you. Did you get married and have children? Have you finally finished studying and started that biotechnology company you always talked about? Well, I was doing a master's in geo-oceanic dynamics, and the research is mainly on algae. There's so much you can get out of this small organism. It's not only about fuels, there's so much more you can do with it. I think the past 5 years, it's just booming. Everyone is talking about it and trying to see if it's the answer to the future.
One important vision is to contribute to solving global problems. All of my faculty colleagues and myself have ambitious research programs that are contributing to solving problems that are practical and that involve students, of course.
Even in your first year, you get your experience, what is it like working in a lab. So you learn lab work at the same time that you learn your academics. So it is actually part of it. Our classes are rather small, and it's actually a very close relationship with students and professors.
The problems that I see coming in the 21st century in my area of work have to do with energy and the environment. Those are the areas I work on. And particularly for these problems, you need a transdisciplinary approach.
Where you have two professors from two different fields and they teach a course together. So for example, this year we had a neuroscientist with a political scientist, and they taught a course on the neuroscience of art and politics. So really looking at the links between these two. And I don't think you find that kind of dialogue between different fields at other institutions, and it's something I love about being here.
It's, I think, a challenge, but I think it's this idea to grasp problems holistically and to put ideas in a bigger picture. I'm studying here physics and earth and space sciences, and I focus within the program on astrophysics. I always wanted to know really how everything is built up.
We live in this universe full of surprises, where the faster you run, the longer you live. Where you can see millions of years to the past just by tilting your head upwards and looking to the night sky. Where, at the smallest scales, you find out that nature itself has only a vague idea about how it's going to evolve, and probably is the only answer you get from it.
This university puts so much emphasis on certain areas which are relevant for a modern society, from health and water to energy and resources, but also conflict management and education. This is something very innovative. We feel that is what is our responsibility towards society, to invest in young people.
What they do here in the University of bringing so many people from different cultural, political backgrounds together offers a great chance to foster understanding. You have people from countries that not normally would communicate with each other. This is a place that everyone in Bremen should be proud of, because this is a role model, in my opinion, for the university of the future.
I really don't know how the future will turn out, but I do know that we have the power to shape it.
I hope to wake up each morning to a peaceful world, where all our life patterns and interests are aligned towards the greater good of this world and our surroundings. I'm currently pursuing my master's, my MSc in International Logistics, Management and Engineering. Logistics is everywhere in the world. It is the core of globalization, of world trade. And because I see it everywhere around me, I love the subject even more. The one thing that absolutely stands out in this university is the diversity. Diversity in terms of the background of students, where they come from, the ideas that they bring in, the mentality, their outlook.
The people from these countries are special. They are all so motivated and dedicated in what they do, and that really gives the spirit.
Values cannot be taught, but you have to experience them, you have to live them, you have to want them. You need to create the environment in which you can experience these values.
I think we need to stop thinking about leaders as being politicians or business people, and more leaders in communities, teachers, and all kinds of things. I think this broad understanding of leadership and of being a pioneer and going back home and really leading the way of new approaches, I think that's something that I see Jakob students doing.
When I go back to India, apart from, of course, bringing this change in logistics and infrastructure as a job, on the other hand, I want to be involved in educating young children, especially the ones that don't have the money or the means to gain the exposure that I had as a child in India.
I sometimes even questioned a bit if I want to do astrophysics forever. There's so many problems that we probably should solve before maybe going further into the depth of the universe.
I'd love to use all my knowledge and, be a consultant and teach other people. And, you just want to get out there and be hands-on.
The fact that I studied at a university like that actually opened the door for me. Currently, I'm the Global HR Communications Manager, which means that I support our team across the world to design and deliver our HR strategies and communicate them to our associates. But once you leave the university, you go to other institutions, you start to realize how different this place is.
The young generation that meets here on our campus is so promising that I feel future given to the hands of these young people must be seen optimistically.
A leader of tomorrow, for me, is somebody who can inspire others, who is creative, a real intellectual, who can work in a team, and who can act responsibly.
I think there's a sense that we're pioneers. We're pioneers of the 21st century, trying to establish a new way of approaching problems and addressing problems. Our letters to the future are our graduated students. We send them out every year to become the architects of the future.
When you've been studying for so long, you want to be able to get out there and, just fly with everything that you have.